Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. I'm surrounded by fail. And when I say fail, I mean lots of failed projects. I've got a Texas Instruments 99 that's dead, and then I've got new RAM chips for it and they're dead, and I have to get sockets for it and it's all dead. I've got computers in pieces all over the place. I've got bits of equipment hanging off. I've got 1,000,001 unfinished projects, and some of them basically I can't finish because of lack of materials, lack of funding and lack of time. So what I've decided to do is have a look inside this Mega STE, because that's one thing I think we could all appreciate. Now you can't see this on the camera and I'm too lazy to adjust it, so there you go, that's the keyboard. Now this is the first time I've used one of these and the keyboard is really good. It's a bit like, it's exactly like a normal Atari ST keyboard, but listen, it sounds different. It's got firmer springs. There's something about this more professional. It's really heavy. So I'm going to show you what I can using my limited camera view. See the how it's all connected. You've got the mouse and joystick ports are still part of the keyboard, so you can see that's a carryover really from the ST machines. Atari Corporation, Sunnyvale, California, and it uses this RJ12 type cable. In fact, I think I'm going to order a phone cable to use instead of this. I know it's nice to have an original Atari cable, but look at the state of that. It's going to fall apart, and that's not going to do anybody any good not working. So there probably is people making reproduction ones of these, but it's just a cable at the end of the day. Lovely keyboard. Something about Atari keyboards, by the way, they have a microcontroller here, a custom microcontroller inside that effectively serializes the data and sends that down into the main motherboard, and that's the same on the standard STs and ST FMs and whatever STs you're using. What's neat about it is obviously it allows Atari to do that, which is quite professional really. It's the sort of things you saw Apple doing, and this machine was really poised as an Apple Mac type machine, and it's a professional machine. I'll try to hold it up. My gosh, this is not a good place to have a camera for big things like this. And you can see it's an Atari MEGA ST2, and someone's done my putting a bloody Gotek in it. I'm not gonna. I'll try not to swear because it's got a Gotek in it. On the bottom, there you go. You've got the serial number there and a bunch of screws, and we're going to be taking apart some of those screws because I want to get in here, and I'm scared to see what they've done in order to get that Gotek in. It's missing a foot in the bottom left, bottom right corner here, and it does say TDHS. So I wonder who TDHS was back in the day. And then on the back you've got your fan, I'm guessing. Oh, I don't see a fan in there. Your option for a fan. I have a little fan. I might just put a fan in there. I'll have a look in there when we're there. Power switch, modem, power port, printer, MIDI out, MIDI in, monitor, floppy and hard disk. And you'll see it's based on the STF hardware, or ST. Yeah, it would be F because it's got floppy, because it doesn't have the RCA port, so it's not an STE, that's a Mega STE. It does have some sort of expansion hole here, and a lovely Atari logo. I will never tire of acquiring things with Atari logos. So let's pop this out. So the difference between the different Megas apparently is the amount of memory. So that's the only difference when you have a Mega 4, Mega 2, 2 megs, 4 megs. I have run my diagnostic cartridge in this thing, and it does have a blitter, so that was nice to find out. If you're looking for a diagnostic cartridge or Atari ST service manuals, go to my website www.backofficeshow.com, and you can support the channel by purchasing one of those said diagnostic cartridges. And I have been playing with one of those with an Arduino recently, so we'll be doing some Atari ST hardware hacking. Another interesting thing I noticed here, look, there's actually a battery hole because it does have a real-time clock built in, and that's the battery backup. Isn't that cute? This is a very, very nice machine, very sort of contemporary to the style. Just checking here, there's no real damage here. Interestingly enough, the battery backup clock wasn't actually plugged in, or I just yoinked it out. Oh my god, it's filthy in here. Okay, let's have a look at this scariness. Yeah, it's a bit on the old crusty side, and look at this. It does seem to have had some chassis abuse at some point here. I don't know if there was a factory fitted fan or if someone's just bent up all of the metalworks to get that. They might have tried to get the power supply out without dismantling everything, and they've bent all of that. So that's not very nice, but I do have the means to sort that out. And, you know, sometimes with these machines, that's what you've got to expect to do. I don't know if there was any shielding on this. I can see shielding tags that have been twisted, but it might just be a bottom shield. I'm not going to complain too much, they're all chore. And look at this, the Gotek's been hot glued in. As is tradition, really. I'm going to be probably seeking out an Atari ST floppy drive. If you have access to an original Atari ST floppy drive, please let me know. Cheap, ideally. I would love to acquire one and bin this horrible thing. It has got flash floppy on it, so at least that's a plus. Hot glue on this capacitor. Interesting. I don't know if they hot glued a capacitor back in. No, I suppose they just had a little bit of spare hot glue. Wanted to make sure that was in. I'm noticing here as well, we've got possibly the ROM chips, but they've got several empty bays here, which is kind of interesting. So I've been working on the cartridge, and that takes up ROM 4 and ROM 3 memory areas. So I don't know what's going on here, but I'm guessing that is the ROM. There's going to be nothing on the bottom of this PCB. I'm pretty confident about that. This appears to be the battery backup wire for the clock, so I'm going to hook that on. I wonder where the blitter is. This might be the blitter, or this might be the blitter. But I'm going to just, while I'm here, hear that, push them down. I'm not seeing any sort of bulging caps or anything like that. Although there is a lot of dust and cack underneath that. So this would be ripe. This will be ripe for an actual rework, won't it, at some point in the future, and get that all lovely and clean. Especially get rid of this Gotek monstrosity. Something that's a shame when you acquire Ataris that have had people put Goteks and things, they're often missing the screws and standoffs, and they do have some peculiar standoffs in some of these things that could be quite hard to obtain. Let's pop that down, pop that down. So it's a very interesting motherboard layout. I do notice though it does have this. This is significantly different though. So this is some sort of bus system. It doesn't say, does it, in there? It's a bit dusty. To have a look. In fact, let's have a quick dust while we're in here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might be, that I did think I read somewhere something about, is it VME bus? Could it be VME? And that's what separated these from the standard line. So this was meant to be the more professional line, which means I have to get a different cable if I want to listen to sound, because I've got an Atari STE cable and that doesn't take sound out. Which makes me wonder, do these have stereo sound or mono sound? Because I certainly don't get the feeling that it has stereo, but I could be totally wrong on that. Now these two screws here, they're from the other side of the chassis coming straight through. And well, I guess something you could answer me as well, did it have a factory fan? Because I'm not seeing one on here, but I am seeing a bit amount of dust and gunk on there. Let's have a quick look in my fan box, see if I've got anything that might fit here. Apparently I don't. So I'm just going to measure these, if ever you're curious of what size fan you need. This fan measures 5 centimeters. This fan hole measures, I'd say just a touch over 4. So I'm a whole centimeter too big. Then maybe you could make something like this fit. You could probably make it fit if you wanted to. But I'd go out and seek the proper options for that. So I'm going to put this all back together. It was nice having a look in it. It does make me wonder though, if I just tipped it on its side and poured alcohol through it, if that would give it a de-dusting. But I think I'm going to have to sit down over a long winter weekend, when you're bored, and then just take this apart piece by piece. As soon as I get hold of a, of course, appropriate floppy. Yeah, the more and more I look at it, by the way, the more I realise it definitely must have had some shielding on the top. I'm pretty sure, because there's notches here on the back that are not populated. And is there a door? Let me know if there's a door that's supposed to go on there. I think we're going to be doing some 3D printing if we want to get this one sorted. Please like, share, subscribe. Come join me on my Discord channel for plenty more Atari ST conversations. We're doing a lot of hardware projects right now, and I'd love to have you in there so we can chat about it. As ever, thank you for watching. Ooh, before I go, have a look. I found some feet. Some CPC feet. They're a little bit deep than the old ones, but oh my word, are they the perfect replacement. I'm almost tempted, yes, I'm very tempted to yoink the old hard crusty feet off. This one's actually particularly crusty. Look at it, it's breaking my nail getting that off. We don't want that in our lives. This is almost like watching the 8-bit guy or Retro Man Cave, isn't it? Doing a proper like rags to riches style restoration. Ow, shit. I just headbutted a ruler. That's gonna leave a welt. And what I did while I was at it to perfect this install, I put a self-tapper in here because somebody had lost a screw. Hasn't got that lovely golden colour though, but you know, you can't have perfection always. Let's get that in there. Well, look, if anything, I can at least say got lovely feet.